Hi, second grade. Mrs. Shook with our grade 2 skills. We're on Unit 1, Lesson 16, Spelling Alternatives. Our learning goals for today to be able to read and spell words with the letter sounds n, w, and qua. We're going to be able to read a given text and answer comprehension questions about the story. And then segment, blend, and spell a variety of 2-syllable, short vowel words and the tricky word how. All right, our first new spelling. This is a KN. When you hear the sound N, sometimes, look at how small our power bar starts. Not very common, but some words will have N. So like in the word knock, like knock, 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 you don't hear the K, you would just hear N. And in this case, it's spelled KN. So adding that to our chart, for the N sound, most of the time it will be a single N, sometimes it will be a double N, and now we know that sometimes it will be a KN. So if you see KN together, you'll know that is a N sound. Okay, now we have like in wrist, your wrist. Okay, that's going to be sometimes spelled WR. So if you see a WR, move myself out of the way. If you see a WR, you'll know that sounds like Most of the time, the sound will be a single R, sometimes a double R, and now we know sometimes a WR. All right, now like in the word when, the W sound can sometimes be spelled WH. We previously reviewed that the W sound, the W, is usually a single W, but now we know that sometimes it could be a WH, like in the word when. So if you see when, you'll know it's a W sound for that W and H. Okay, and now QU, like in the word quit, qu. QU. Qu is always spelled QU. That's why our power bar is all the way across. So if you hear qu, it's always going to be QU. Okay. Our activity for today. We're going to be given a picture, a series of pictures, and next to them are some letters. We're going to think of the 3 sounds or 4 sounds in the word and figure out what is the correct spelling. So they gave us this. It's kind of hard to see this picture, but they are wrapping a present, so the word is wrap. They went through and WR is the R sound, A is A, and P is P to make app, and then write it. So we'll try a few together. Right here, in case you can't really tell, it's knit. With some yarn and a knitting needle, knit. So based on what we learned today, the N sound, is it going to be with a KN or a K? Good, KN. How about the I sound? Is it with an I or a double E? Yes, the I. And how about T? How do you spell T? Would it be with an S or a T? Good, a T. So we have KN, I, T for knit. And then we would write it on the line, KNIT. All right, one more together. This picture is of a quilt. A quilt is a type of blanket, usually handmade, different pieces of material sewn together, sometimes in a picture. So that's a quilt. So the first sound is qu. What letters would spell qu? WR or QU? And we know that it is a QU. Good job. The next sound, I. What vowel says I or A? That is correct. Letter I. So we have qu, I. Now O. O. L or I. And yes, letter L. And to end the word quilt with a T. Is it a letter T or a D? Quilt. And very good, letter T. Now to spell our word quilt. Q-U-I-L-T. Very good. All right. Now, these are the three that we did together. Page 16.1 will be given to you, and you're going to continue doing what we just did. Look at the word, find the sounds, circle the correct sounds, or spelling for the sounds, and then write the word. This is knock, quack, it's a duck quack. It's pointing to the wrist. This picture is a fish. Here we have a dress, then a chick, a bus, a bell, and a knot. All right. Now, our reading for today, we're continuing with the Cat Bandit series. Our title of the story is The Ham. Our purpose for reading: predict what the story might be based on the title of the story. So, we have so far read the hot dog, the chicken nugget, the snack mix, and in all of those stories, the Cat Bandit did what? Yep, he lived up to his name. A bandit, we know, is someone who takes things that are not their own. So the Cat Bandit has been taking things, and those things have been food. He took the hot dog, he took the chicken nugget, he took the trail mix. So, based on what has already happened, what can we predict is going to happen in this story called The Ham? I agree. Let's find out what happens. Okay, so here's our reader, the Cat Bandit. We're on The Ham. It's page 16. Our story vocabulary. Ham is a type of smoked meat from the back leg of a pig. Example, Mr. Beale ate ham and mashed potatoes for dinner. A quilt, which we just looked at on our activity sheet, is a thick blanket made by sewing small pieces of fabric together. Example, the quilts kept him warm in bed in the winter. Tug is to pull in a strong way. I helped my dad tug the old lawnmower out of the shed. And then the last one, so tug is like, really pulling. Yank, pull it out quickly. To pull or take out suddenly, like yank, with a yank, his tooth came right out. All right, and once again, let's make sure we're paying attention to the types of punctuation in our story. We have periods to end sentences, exclamation points that end sentences showing excitement, and question marks, which end sentences that are questions, asking a question. Okay, here's our story. We're going to read it together. The Ham. You can see in our picture, the cat has already got his eyes on the ham, sitting on the stove. Mom left a pink ham sitting in a big black pan. The Cat Bandit was resting on a quilt when he got a whiff of the ham. What's a whiff? What was that smell? So he's laying there and he gets a whiff, and he's wondering what that smell is. A whiff is when you just get a little smell of something. So you can kind of see the scent coming off the ham there. He got a smell of the ham. It was ham. Where was the ham? The Cat Bandit set off, sniffing as he went. He went on sniffing until he spotted the ham, but the ham was up on top. How was he to get it down? That was the problem. The Cat Bandit ran to the closet and got a belt. Then he ran to the shed and got a strong magnet. He stuck the magnet on the end of the belt. The magnet stuck to the belt. So here he is with the long belt, and there's the magnet on the end. Then the Cat Bandit swung the belt. Clang! The magnet on the end of the belt hit the pan. It stuck to the pan. And if you don't know, magnets will stick to certain metals. So it stuck to the pan. In a flash, The cat bandit was tugging on the belt. Tug, tug, tug. Yank, yank, yank. At last, the pan slid off. It fell down and landed with a clang. Then, munch, munch, munch. That was the end of the ham. Okay, now that we're done reading, Google Forms Skills Unit 1, Lesson 16. There will be questions about the story we just read, all about the ham. Okay, and one last thing. We're going to get a new spelling list this week, so let's go over all of our words. Okay. First, snacking, snacking. Mixing, smelling, and already I'm hoping you're noticing the ing ending we talked about last week. A lot of the sounds, the k, ck, we have our double L. Running, and running is one of those words that when you add the ing, you add another N. Kissing, buzzing, hitting, until, problem, and our extra word, how, which is our tricky word for this, for this week, because the OW says ow. So our tricky word for the spelling word list is how. Once again, snacking, mixing, smelling, running, kissing, buzzing, hitting, until, problem, and how. And more ideas for practicing our spelling words. You can create flashcards, have a spelling test at home, just like we do it in school. Write each word in a short sentence, or write a story with all of the words. Act out or draw a picture of all the words. And it's recommended that you practice your words about 5 or 10 minutes each day to help you learn them by the end of the week. Okay, and that wraps it up for us today. So, great work today. Have a good day. Make sure you do your assignments. Bye, guys.